Hi, it's mystery author Ellie Alexander, and I am thrilled to be here with you for another episode of 5 Things. As you probably noticed, I took a bit of a summer hiatus. I had lots of summer adventures and did a little bit of summer work, but mainly I spent most of my summer reading. So this week on 5 Things, I'm gonna share 5 of my current reads. I can't wait. I hope your summer has been as wonderful as mine, especially when it comes to weather. For those of you who aren't familiar with Ashland, Oregon, the real setting for my bake shop mysteries, we have a tendency to have some smoke in the summer. And this summer we had just a gorgeous long stretch of blue skies and cool, crisp evenings. It was like total perfection. And in my mind, that is completely perfect reading weather. So I am not embarrassed or ashamed to admit that I spent the vast majority of my free time this summer reading. But since we're going into a holiday weekend, I have 5 new reads that are sitting in my TBR pile that I want to share with you. So let's get right to it. Book number 1, A Perilous Undertaking by Deanna Rayburn. Have you read any of Deanna Rayburn's works before? She is one of my favorite authors. I fell in love with her Lady Julia Gray series many years ago and worked my way through that entire series, finished it, and sort of went on with my life. And then a good friend of mine told me earlier this summer that she's writing a new series that is also a historical mystery. So that's a huge check in my book. And I also have to say, friends who give you book recommendations are the best friends. Am I right about that? Yes. So I read book 1 in this series in like 2 days, and now I am on book 2 of the Veronica Speedwell series. It's set in 1887, and it follows this very spunky feminist character through lots of adventures. And I can't give anything else away because it's a mystery, but they are complete gems, and you have to read this series if you are a fan of historical mysteries. Book number 2, The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. I am so excited to read this book. Let me tell you why. First of all, check out that cover. I know that you're not supposed to be swayed by covers, but I was in the bookstore and immediately drawn to this cover and the title. The title includes bookish. Anything that includes bookish is just like a solid check mark in my box. And then of course, Abby's writing is compared to a modern day Jane Austen. And for any of you who know me, you know that Jane Austen is like the second coming for me. I'm really super excited to dive into this book. I have not yet read it. It is next on my stack as soon as I finish this second book in Deanna Rayburn's lovely series. And what I'm excited about is the premise. So Nina works at a bookstore and she's an only child, and she suddenly learns that she has this whole extended family. And I have an only child, so I'm always kind of drawn to that. And anyway, it's set in a bookstore. What else do we need to know? I'm super excited about this one. Book number 3. This is one of my all-time favorite long-running series, and I'm so excited to dive into Rhys Bowen's 4 Weddings and Maybe a Funeral. I have been reading her Royal Spyness series since the very beginning, and I try to stretch these books out because I love them so much that I don't want to just devour them, but it's hard not to because they're so great. They're so clever. Lady Georgie is long in line for the crown in the 1900s, and this is another historical. I do love historical mysteries. This Rhys just has a new book out, I think within the last few weeks in this series, so I'm 1 book behind. And part of the reason for that is because I'm writing mysteries myself, I try not to read mysteries when I'm actually working on a new plot. I don't want someone else's plot to accidentally seep its way into my brain cells. So not only do I treasure stretching this series out, but I always read them when I'm on hiatus from writing myself. So I can't wait to see what Lady Georgie is up to too. And will she finally marry Darcy? I don't know. Will I find out in this book? Fingers crossed, we'll see. Okay, book number 4. The Philosopher's Flight by Tom Miller. My husband was actually perusing shelves and pulled this one off, and it's so funny because like 2 minutes before he found it, I had just been reading the back cover copy and thinking like, I've got to get my hands on this book. So it's billed as being part sci-fi, part magic, and the whole premise is that the main character is kind of a man vying in a woman's world. And so I love that idea of that twist. And I'm really excited about this one. I have a feeling that I'm gonna read it first and then I'll pass it on to my husband. But because it's fourth in line in my stack, he might try to swipe it. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'm gonna have to move this one up so he doesn't get his hands on it first. Number 5, last but not least, I have actually had this book sitting in my TBR stack since last spring. My dear friend sent this to me as a birthday present, and I've kind of like flipped through the pages because I think it's such an ingenious idea, but I'm really excited to dive into this one as part research for the Bake Shop Mysteries. It is Romeo and/or Juliet by Ryan North. This is a choose your own adventure Romeo and Juliet book. I mean, okay, come on. You know that I love anything Shakespeare. I've set an entire series of books in Ashland, Oregon, in part because it is home to the amazing Oregon Shakespeare Festival. And also, I loved Choose Your Own Adventure books as a kid. So I cannot wait to find my way through a Romeo and/or Juliet. Like, what if they never met? That's one of the first questions that comes up in this book. I'm really excited to use this as I start working on book 12. That's right, I'm getting ready to start book 12 of the Bake Shop Mysteries in the next few weeks. And I think that there is a character in the series who might come into Tort to peruse this book while noshing on a delicious raspberry scone and sipping a latte. Any guesses who might read this? I want to hear from you. All right, that in a nutshell are the 5 books that I have set to read or am soon to finish. I would love to hear from you. Have you read any of these? Is there anything in this stack that you're excited about, or what are your suggestions? I am always thrilled to get new reading suggestions and grow my TBR stack. In my opinion, you can never have too many books. Thanks for joining me for another 5 things. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell to get notified whenever I share new videos. Happy reading!